Go, please.
Me? No.
Yes.
Me?
Yes, you.
Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone, for your patience. Welcome to Center for Spiritual Living Leesburg. Our theme for the year 2023 is Living Out Loud. And for the month of May, our focus is the light within the shadows. Today's message is Unlearning the Fear of Darkness, and it will be given by our wonderful spiritual director, Charlene. We're so glad that you joined us here today. Took time out of your Sunday to join us. Please feel free to add to the chat any comments, any prayer concerns, any celebrations that you would like us to include later in our service when we do our spiritual mind treatment, which is a form of affirmative prayer. So now, as we settle in to our service, we invite you just to sit back, relax, and enjoy our video as we officially begin. Please join us as we create our sacred space. We set our intentions of deepening into our awareness and practice of our 5 pillars of spiritual living by lighting this candle in our virtual world. Our first pillar is sacred study, represented by the divine quality of truth. We use this pillar to recognize the importance of an open mind and the power of our minds. The second pillar is affirmative prayer, represented by the divine quality power. This pillar honors the power of prayer in our daily lives. Our third pillar is meditation and the divine quality of peace. This pillar reminds us of the importance of meditation and the peace we feel when we quiet our minds. The fourth pillar is circulation and the divine quality of life. We know that the great law of circulation works in our lives. As we give, so shall we receive. And the fifth pillar is sacred service and the divine quality of love. This pillar affirms our call to be of service to our world as we see through the eyes of love. Let us close our eyes as we bless this sacred space and our time together. As we weave each of these pillars of spiritual living into our service today, may they deepen our own spiritual practices of study, prayer, meditation, circulation, and service, expanding our minds and our hearts to the 5 divine qualities of truth, power, peace, life, and love. We also bless everyone who made our service possible today and everyone in attendance. May the energy of love that is generated here bless everyone abundantly. And so it is. All right, everyone. This is the time in our service where we do meditation. So I always try to tie it in with the message today. And sometimes I have like a little clue in my journal. And I read the quote that's listed in the journal for today. And that's what I used for our meditation. So there is a game that parents and babies play, and every culture has a name for this game. In America, we cover our eyes, or maybe our baby's eyes, and what do we say? Peekaboo, right? In France, they say cuckoo. In German, they say hallo, or else guck guck. In Sweden, the people there say titu, and the Dutch say kiekaboo. Isn't that amazing? Every culture plays this game with their young children. It's a delightful game, but it also teaches a very important lesson that our little ones need to learn, and that's object permanence. They need to learn that just because their parents are not in sight at the moment, their parents still exist. They will return. There's no need to cry or fuss that they're gone forever. This is object permanence. Things exist even though we cannot see them. And I'm sharing this long introduction with you today because it ties in with what I'm going to ask you to do in our meditation. I'm going to ask you to recall someone who has gone from your sight. And in honor of Mother's Day, I'm going to throw in another challenge. I'm going to encourage you to select a very special woman from your life, a grandmother, an aunt, an older sister, your mother, or maybe someone who was like a mother in your heart, but someone who is no longer present in your life. Can you recall a person that fits that? Do you have it? Good. Let's begin. So as always, when we start our meditation, I want you just to relax, ease into the moment, release any tension, any stress that you might be carrying with you. Maybe you had to rush around in order to join us today. So just settle in to the stillness and the peace and the quiet of this moment. We lead such busy lives. We're always on the run, on the run, on the run, on the run. You can't have a motor that it's always going. You have to have that stop, that pause, right? And that's what we do when we meditate. So take in a deep breath and hold it. And then exhale. Doesn't that feel good? Take in another deep breath. Inhaling peace and ease. And hold it. And then exhale your breath and exhale away any tension, any doubts, any worry, any anxious thoughts. And sometimes it helps if you really draw in that breath and then blow out as you exhale. And just picture breathing in peace. And exhaling. Blowing away anything that you don't want within this very sacred space, this moment. All right, now the fun begins. I'm going to ask you to cover your eyes with your hands, peekaboo style. And then in a moment, I'm going to tell you to uncover your eyes. And when you do, I want you to keep your eyes shut. And I want you to imagine as we're doing this that you're playing peekaboo. And imagine as you uncover your eyes, there in front of you, keeping your eyes shut so that you can picture that, visualize that person, but just picture that you're playing peekaboo with that very, very special person, that special woman, and she's right there in front of you. Are you ready? Here we go. Uncover your hands, or unfold your hands, uncover. And imagining peekaboo. And there, keep your eyes shut. I'm going to open my eyes in a moment because I'm enjoying this. But just picture that very special person. Picture their eyes, their smile, wrinkles, maybe freckles, maybe dimples. What are their facial features that you know so well? Because this is a person who is just so special, so important in your life. Picture this person's hair. There's some jewelry. Are they laughing? Picture their hands, how they would stand, the way that they would carry themselves. Just take a moment to really visualize and recall every detail. Oh my gosh, I even got a fragrance there. Maybe you can recall a special perfume. Wow, that was pretty neat. And the next few moments of this quiet, I want you to recall some special memories that are associated with this person. What did you do together? What were some games that you played together? What were some activities? Did you bake together? Did you walk together? Did you garden together? Did you dance? What made you laugh when you were with this person? Just take a moment and in this pause in our meditation, recall some of the special that you did, the activities that you did with this person. One memory just leads to another, that leads to another, that leads to another. I hope you're experiencing this too. Now, I'll ask you one last question. What lesson did this person teach you? Take a moment and recall the lessons. Is it a lesson of unconditional love? Is it a lesson that conveys values that help to shape your character? Recall the lessons that this person instilled to you, embroidered on your heart. This, my friends, is object permanence. Even though this person is not physically with you today, her memories and her lessons are here. They are part of you. They are always, always a part of you. They are always with you. So as you celebrate the day today, however you decide to give love and appreciation or receive love and appreciation today, embrace this moment of honoring the women who have taught us so many lessons, including the lesson of object and permanence. Even though we do not see someone, they still exist because love lasts forever. When you can, open your eyes and return to us because we have some music waiting for you from Soul Pajamas.
Our music is actually from Leah.
Good morning, CSL. This is a song by Jerry and the Pacemakers that you've probably heard before. So if you'd like to sing with me. When you walk through a storm, hold your head up high and don't be afraid of the dark. At the end of each storm, there's a golden sky and the sweet silver song of a lark. Walk on through the wind, walk on through the rain, though you're
Oh my. Wow. That was amazing. I can just barely get it together to say, woo. I love that song. And Mara, your meditation of the invisible yet present feminine energy in our lives. It was so good. And those two go perfectly together. And we didn't plan it. We never plan it. And it's always perfect. I love the way spirit works in and through and as us. So it is Mother's Day. I want to start by saying happy Mother's Day to those of you who are in the room who are physical mothers or spiritual mothers, to any of the souls that are present on this planet, current, past, and in the future. I know that we are the divine feminine energy that is needed ever so much, even now. As we look around and we can see in this world of change, and I'm not going to call it good or bad. We had this discussion last week. We talked about how the yin yang symbol takes us from good to bad to good to bad. It is a balancing of universal forces that in our tiny finite perspective, a situation may be deemed good or may be deemed not so good. But if we were to take a step back, and I want to say up 30,000 feet and look at it, it would look a little different. That's the topic. And the title of this talk is Unleashing, Unlearning the Fear of Darkness. The fear of darkness, it is a historically accurate and valid thing to have. It's not here by accident. Our ancestors, the ones before our great-grandparents, didn't have light bulbs or iPhones or tablets to keep them distracted. When it got dark, it was dark. And when there was no light outside, it was pitch black. And they could light a candle or two or 20,000. That had to be dangerous. Think about it. To lighten up a room or a cave or a castle or whatever the area was, so that the predators who snack on humans as if they were Oreo cookies would leave us alone. We lit fires and we huddled close to the fire because the predators would avoid fires. And we went out in pairs or 3 or 4, and then we stopped and we froze and we listened. Was that a twig? Did a twig break? Could there be an enemy lurking behind that next bush? We had a reason to be afraid of the darkness. And so even now, children will ask for their parents to please leave a light on. Can I get a night light? Just a little something, so I know that I'm not alone. And yes, we kind of cajole the child and we tell, there's no monsters. And maybe that's true, that there are no physical monsters that are going to break in right now. But the monsters, my friends, they're each of us. They're all of us. They're who we could be if we didn't align ourselves daily, minutely, with the divine presence that is sustaining us. Because left to our own devices, I don't have to tell you how scary it is. If I thought that there was no divine power, that there was no underarching and overarching power that keeps it all together, that there is a force for good and we can use it every moment of our lives, that there's something bigger than us and it is benevolent. If I didn't think that, I would be terrified. And so those are the monsters, the things that we can conjure up in our moments of disconnection and fear and worry and doubt, when we don't remember who we are and when we doubt what we think we might know or hope is the truth, it gets really scary. Now, I think about the story about twins in the womb of their mother. They're grown from the little tiny little egg that's split into 2, and they're with each other in the womb. And I want you to imagine the darkness of this place, the womb. That is the darkness, right? The womb is like this fertile soil in the ground. in which we plant a seed. And without that darkness and all those nutrients, that seed could not germinate. It could not grow into the plant that we hope for in the future. So the seed in the soil is similar to the embryos in the womb. And so these two embryos are growing side by side, and they're together in their mother's womb, and they begin to have a little bit of sentience. And so they talk to each other in the way that twins talk in the womb. And they get to know terms because they're part of universal life that has been around for millennia. They just know that they're part of something called mother. And they're very grateful for it. And each day they wake up from their slumber and they say, hey, brother, hey, sister. So isn't it wonderful to be a mother? Isn't it great to know that all that we need is provided for us? Isn't it great to know that all of our nutrients are here with us and it's all delivered automatically? All we have to do is just be ourselves, and nothing could be wanting in each of us. And this is amazing. And over the months, they become more grateful. And then it becomes a little tight, gets a little uncomfortable. And the twins start to say to each other, okay, so what's going on? We're not going to be able to sustain this. This is unsustainable. At some point, mother is no longer going to be able to keep this environment. And now we've heard rumors. We know that there's rumors about something else after this. There's life after conception. There might be life after conception, but we don't know because nobody's ever come back and said, guys, this is what it's like out there. We don't know. And so one twin is a doubting Thomas, so to speak. The one twin is like, I don't think there's such a thing as mother. I think they made it up. I think it's all BS. And I think we're just all going to die. And the other twin's like, I feel it's kind of true. I feel like there's something bigger, and that this is just a place that's preparing us for something bigger, and that we're going to move into this next realm and it's going to be glorious. And the cynical twin is like, you're so gullible, believing anything that, you pick up from the ethers. I think it's just going to be the end. This is the beginning of the end. There's no life after conception. And of course, they start to have some very dangerous, terrible times where things are constricting and it becomes violent inside mother. And there's only one way out, and it's toward the light. And then they come out and they cry with astonishment because it is so beautiful. So I love this story because, as you can hear the analogy going on, you and I, we live on this earth. This earth is mother. It sustains us. It has everything we need. And when we are living in harmony with Mother Earth, things are pretty great. And that's not to say that one day we're not going to go into the next realm, right? We're going to definitely go into the next realm. And the question is, are you going to be afraid of that next thing because you don't really believe the things that you're feeling viscerally, the things you're picking up from the ether? There's something bigger going on here. And this bigger, it's even better than we ever could imagine. We just have to trust. But are we in a mode where we don't want to trust and we're feeling kind of separate and separation? And when that's the case, then of course we're afraid. We're like the twin who doubts everything. It's scary and it's terrifying. I want to be more aligned with that twin who just knows, just feels it in our body that there's something bigger and it's good. And we are sustained wholly by the mother. In this case, I want to just know I'm sustained by Mother Earth. And it's not just me that knows this. I'm reading this new book, Finding the Mother Tree. Have you guys heard of it? Finding the Mother Tree. I want to show you this picture. Well, I guess I'll show you a couple things. Actually, it's a Kindle book, so I brought it up. And I want to show you the picture of the book by Susan Simard. And then also I want to show you this image. So let me share my screen. See if this works out. Yeah. All right. Hopefully you guys can see that. Now, the book on the right, this national bestseller, Finding the Mother Tree, Discovering the Wisdom of the Forest. It's very, very good. I'm going to read you a quote. But in the meantime, look at this image. I'll zoom in. Look at that image. Now, what's going on in that image? Here's the quote I want to read you. Trees in a forest are interconnected through thread-like structures of symbiotic fungi, which form an underground network. Through the network, the biggest and oldest trees, known as mother trees, share carbon and nutrients with saplings, growing in shady areas where there's not enough sunlight. The mother trees can also detect the ill health of other trees and send them nutrients they need to heal. In this way, mother trees act as central hubs, communicating with both young seedlings and other large trees around them to increase their chances of survival. Isn't that amazing? And here's a quote from Evan Hopkins, The School of Alchemy. He says, the quality of God that gives of itself, nurtures life, and holds everything together is pure love. And the model we've been given for this way of loving is motherhood. The only thing that gives us a chance to love God as God loves us is the fact that the feminine is within all of us. The feminine is within all of us. So it is not just the women, I'm saying, that can do this nurturing. It's the divine feminine that is in each and every one of us that we have access to, and that we can grow and expand, and we can become, with our spiritual practice, the mother tree that gives of the nutrients. When we come in contact with someone in our community that is in want, we can say, oh, I can hold you in prayer. I can hold a vision for you. I can be here with you. I can support you, because there may become a day when we need that same sort of support. We are that interconnected community, and not just those that are sitting here in our center, in the pews or in the seats, wherever you are all over the world. I just want you to know that we are each in humanity connected to one another. That when we pass someone in the street, we can look them in the eye, even if they are unhoused, and even if we don't have any change to give, we can simply say, bless you, have a great day. We can see them. People really just want to be seen. And so that's the tiny little thing that we can do. Kindness comes from the divine feminine. Kindness, love, support, whatever it is that we can tell that someone needs, we give, and we don't give in a transactional way. We give in a transformational way. From transactional to transformational. And what does that mean? When we're looking at someone and then determining whether we should give, many times the should comes in when we think, well, what are they going to give back? Or are they going to become dependent on me? Or do I want to start this? Maybe if I start giving, I'll never be able to stop, and I've created a dependent. Or they should pull themselves up by their bootstraps. All of that is transactional. And transformational giving is where we already know that we are full of divine energy, and that by giving it, we could not deplete it. Like the sunshine, like the sun gives its rays everywhere and does not get depleted because it's given its rays to one side of the earth while the other side was dark, and now I'm tired. I can't give my rays I gave earlier to Australia. It doesn't work like that. We are the source, infinite source of infinite connection, infinite love. And I shouldn't say we're the source, but we can be the conduit connected to the source such that we become that for somebody else. So when we can give that smile, me smiling to one person doesn't take away from the smile I have for the next person. Me just wishing them well as they go on their journey does not take anything away from me. In fact, it ends up lifting me up as a consequence. We don't give in order to receive, but when we give, we receive tenfold because of the reciprocity of the universe. So I love that idea that this mother tree, the one that is rooted deeply and is rooted in her spirituality, in my analogy here, gives from the overflow to those which need it the most, and then has the intelligence within it to recognize, I'm not going to just give the same thing all the way throughout. I'm going to notice when one person needs just a little something different. And we've met this type of person. You've met the kind of person you can still remember today. Maybe it was that matriarch figure that you visioned earlier today in Tamara's meditation. Maybe that matriarch figure loved you slightly differently from the next person because of what they needed. It's so good to see a maturing, loving person just greet me in a way that's specifically Charlene based, as opposed to just the same greeting to everybody. It's this, they see me, they get me, and I feel so loved. And then I can turn around and be that for someone else. When we give, it's a gift that keeps on giving. And what does that have to do with darkness? The whole idea of being afraid of the darkness is when we fear that we are not connected with the divine, then there's something in the darkness that will hurt us. But the opposite of that is knowing that we're connected with the divine. And then the consequence of that, there's nothing in the darkness that can hurt us. There's only the divine everywhere. And when you say there's nothing in the darkness that can hurt us, we think about things that are the shadow side. The shadow side, and we talked several weeks ago about being vulnerable to the parts of us that we're not so happy about, maybe those little things we consider to be faults in ourselves. When we can sit and become friends with that, sit and just become one with, yes, I was less than my perfect self in that interaction. I might have done something I'm not proud of in that interaction. Sometimes we bury that and we don't look at it. We stick it in the back and we hope we never have to face it. And so we live a bit of a fragmented life, avoiding certain parts of our own insides, maybe staying a little too busy and maybe not wanting to sit in the silence. But when we realize that in the darkness, there is also God, there's nothing to be afraid of, we are always protected, then we can, with faith and with energy and with conviction and curiosity, we can sit in that, and we can sit in the unknown, sit in the question and not rush about looking for answers. Sit in that darkness, not afraid of it, knowing this is the womb of creativity, sitting in the silence, knowing this is where all the creativity from ourselves will come forth, sitting in that soil, knowing we are the seed. And sometimes darkness is what we need. Just allowing life to bloom through us, allowing us to listen to what's really coming through. So I hope that this week, not only will you be very grateful to all the mother figures in your life, all the feminine energy that helped you become who you are, I also hope that you nurture inside yourself the one or two little things that might be a little scary, and just sit within and ask questions, be curious about what is trying to come through. And I guarantee there will be something amazing. So I'm curious to hear how that works out. Please sit, and your homework is just sit still and ask the divine to show you. Oh, it's already time. So I'll end with a quote from Ernest Holmes, if I can get my screen. It's funny, how many slides? Let's count them. How many slides do I have up? All right, couple quotes, and then we'll go into prayer. This one, sitting in the shadow, we may not really believe that there is any sunshine at all, but the sun would be there all the time. It is there, but we must awaken to it. That's from Ernest Holmes' The Science of Mind. And the final quote is, leave the door open for the unknown. This is my request for you this week. Leave the door open for the unknown, the door into the dark. That's where the most important things come from, where you yourself come from, and where you will go. So let's go within. I know that there is only one power, one life, one energy, and that divine, feminine, mother, father, universal energy is right here, present in each and every one of us right now. For it can be no other way. The divine creator is its creation. It is evolving as its creation. It is moving in and through its creation. It has never left. And it is much more than the creation itself. It is the field of unlimited possibility. It is the field of all consciousness. And it is not bound by anything that came before it. This field of pure consciousness can create anything. Anything. It is not bound by, well, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't have to make sense. It doesn't have to have existed before. New unseen things can come right out of this field of ultimate consciousness because it is ever creative and unbounded. And so in this energy of unbounded creativity and unlimited possibilities, I speak my word that anyone in this congregation, anyone within the sound of my voice that is feeling a sense of separation, that illusion is falling away. It is dissolving into the nothingness from whence it came and replacing that as a sense of unified wholeness, of oneness with the divine, and a sense of I can do anything, I can have anything, and I am worthy. For each and every one of us is worthy just by the fact that we are here. The divine is doing something special as each and every one of us. And ours is not to imitate one another, but to become more and more of our true selves, peeling away anything that's unlike the true nature that is calling forth even now to express, and to even further and louder express. So I speak my word that all obstacles are removed right now. They're dissolved. They're made of nothing. And right now, each and every one of us steps boldly into the future, whatever that may be, knowing we are cradled in the Mother, Father, God, the divine arms of the feminine. And we are given nutrients in the moment that we need them. Everything is working together for our highest good. I know this to be true, so I simply relax. I rest. I allow it to be. I release it into the law that only says yes. I let it be. And I say, and so it is. Ashe. Whew. And now Leah's going to take it home.
This song is by the Youngbloods. Darkness, darkness, be my pillow. Take my head and let me sleep in the coolness of your shadow, in the silence of your day. Darkness, darkness, hide the yearning for the things that cannot be. Keep my mind from constant turning for the things I can't yet see. Darkness, darkness, long and lonesome is the day that brings me pain. I've half fallen into some sadness. I hide the trick of fear. Darkness, darkness, be my blanket. Cover me pain of longing until the emptiness fills again with bright darkness, 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 darkness.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Oh, that was amazing. Thank you so much, Charlene. Thank you, Leah. Woo, it always comes together. It's amazing. All right, folks, now is the time to bless the donations that are shared with us today at CSL Leesburg. We believe in the law of circulation, just like you heard in our opening video. We know that as we give, so shall we receive. Plus, we are a tithing community. The donations that are shared with our center bless everyone, those who give and those who receive. Your donation helps our center, our home organization, as well as organizations that support our vision of helping to create a world that works for everyone. It's so easy to find a way to donate. You can just look on the screen, and you can always go to our website and click the give button. So no matter how you are giving, just take that, place it over your heart, and join me in our affirmation of oneness and our blessing of the gifts. The presence of spirit within me blesses everyone I meet, tends to heal everything I touch, brings gladness into the life of everyone I contact. Therefore, I am a blessing to myself, to humankind, and to the day in which I live. And so it is. All right, now it's our time for announcements. So we've been talking about this. It's almost here. We have some new classes that are starting. They're starting in June. So we have historical foundations. There is a prerequisite needed. You have to have one of our foundations classes first. It'll be 10 weeks. It starts on June 5th. And it will be on Monday nights. I'm double checking my Post-it note here, Charlene.
Right. Yeah.
It will be on Monday nights starting at 7 Eastern Standard Time, and it will happen over Zoom right here on this little link that you use to join us. You can always sign up online, go to classes at our CSL Leesburg website. And we also have the class, Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life. There's no prerequisite. This is an awesome starting place if you're kind of new to CSL. This is a wonderful class to take. I've taken it as a student. I co-taught it with Charlene before. It brings such insight and it brings amazing discussion among the participants. So I encourage you to fill out the poll. We need to find out if you want to have this on Thursdays or do you want to have this on Sundays after service? We need to hear from you. And we're also thinking of starting that up in June. So as soon as you can, let us know. Do you want to meet on Thursday nights or would Sunday after service work best for you? Our dream study group that usually meets on Tuesday mornings is taking this summer off. You know, people have things to do, classes to attend and stuff like that. So they will see everyone back in the fall. And I think that's the end. Yes, it is, of our announcements. Now, before you sign off, if you can, please stay and join us. We do something called Pearls, where we share insight into deeper thinking, thoughts that you want to share about the service, about the meditation, about the music, anything that just kind of struck you, stayed with you, thoughts that you want to share with us. We hang out for a little bit. So just stay on if you can. And if you can't, know that we're going to send you off momentarily with our love. So before we get to that, let's do our closing affirmation. All right, once again, put your hands over your heart and just remind yourself how amazing you are. Repeat after me. I am love.
I am love.
Do you see the smile on my face? I love when you guys do that. Thank you so much. All right, get ready. Got another one. Now I want you to point to somebody in the room. Maybe you're imagining that you're sending this love out to somebody who's far away. Maybe it's a little furry creature. Like I have, Silas is in front of my desk right here. whoever you think needs some love right now, point at them and say,
Oh,
you are loved.
Our love.
you are love.
You are
Oh,
Oh, I know Silas felt that. And I'm sure that whoever you were sending that love to felt that as well. Because like Charlene said, like the mother tree, we're all connected, right?
Yeah.
Now, put your hands up in the air and join us with our very last one. Here we go. It's all
Oh, love.
love.
all love, y'all.
All love. All right, folks, we're sending you off. Enjoy a very beautiful day. Give love to all the special women in your life today. Receive it if you're one of those special women, and hang out with us if you can. Thanks for joining us. Bye-bye.
And we're off live. Good job, Mara.